Hey guys, okay, so let's continue with nurbs and curves. So I'm going to go create a curve tool, a CV curve, and once again, not going to do it in the perspective. Don't ever work in the perspective when you're doing curves. Let's go to the side view and let's just draw out a line. Okay, I'm going to click this tool just to confirm it. Then I'm going to create a nurbs circle. Boom. Now I can go back into my perspective view and I can turn this curves circle 90 degrees. So why did I do that? Because then what I want to do is create a tube. Okay, I want to create a tube along this curve, and I want to use this circle to drive it. Okay, this will give us the parameters, the circumference, the radius, etc. Okay, so how do we convert this? I'm first going to grab my line and then my circle, or is it the other way around? Let's see. Surfaces, and I'm going to extrude. Okay, there it is. Boom. Okay, so I've got my, it looks a bit wigged out, so let's just try it the other way quick. Let's take the circle, the curve, and that is better. Okay, it doesn't look better, but it is better. So once again, it's flipped. I'm just going to go to surfaces and reverse the direction. Boom. Now we want it to stick onto this curve. What do we do? How do we do that? We're going to go to the extrude down here. So if I hit Control A, if I'm somewhere over here, I can just hit Control A, changes between the two, and I want to go look for my extrude. Okay. Once I get that, tube is fine. Yes. Fixed path. Let's turn this on. So I'm going to hit 1. 1 is on, 0 is off. You can hit on or off, but 0 is off and 1 is on. Okay, so now it's starting to fit a bit better. Now we want to click on the component pivot, and this will stick it straight onto our line. Okay, if I hit 4 on the keyboard, you can see it's following the line perfectly. Okay, I'm going to just switch off my grid. Over here, I can switch off my grid right there. So in your viewport, you'll always see like this, the same icons in every single viewport, and all I've got to do is click on that, and I've got rid of my grid. Okay, so there we go. So if I hit 5 on the keyboard, I go back to shaded view, and now I can just select my circle, and I can do what I want with it, which is quite cool. Okay. So that's pretty cool. Now I can do tubes. I can go in and I just marqueed select everything. I can control and left click on the nurb surface, and now I can hold down anywhere in white space or on the curve, and I can go back to my control vertices, hit 4 so I can see my vertices better, my points, and I can start shaping the way I want this to look. Okay. So you've got absolute control once again. And just like before, I can convert this into a polygon object. I can hide my originals, and I've got a non-destructive stack. Okay. So there we go. That's tubes. Brilliant. And the nice thing about this is you can have as many. If I want, I can go in and I can take that curve again, just go back into object mode. I can duplicate the curve. I can duplicate it a good couple of times, and I can use this exact same circle to drive my next curve. Extrude. I'll go into the options this time, and then I can pick the ones I want at path. This path direction, I think it was, and I can apply it. That's not correct. Which one was it? At path, yes, yes. Closest to point, no. Component. Okay, so I can do that, and I can get my paths again. That was probably wrong. There we go. Okay, so now that I've got this in my box, in my option box, I don't have to do that again. Now all I have to do is I can select my circle, my curve, and I can hit G. That's wrong, can't select 2, hit G, and select my circle, select my curve, and hit G. Okay, so it's putting it exactly what I left in my attributes. Okay, so surface, extrude, everything that I've put now in my attributes, it'll now do. I don't have to go in and change each and every single one. So I can take all of these, shift select them all, and I can say surfaces and reverse direction, and I'm good. And now I can go in and I can change all these different points. So I can oopsie, let's go into 4 so I can see what I'm doing. Change it to vertices, and now I can start, you know, just putting them the way I want to put them, which is cool. Closer, underneath, you know, you can make a nice stack of wires or whatever you want. Okay, so that's pretty cool. That's a nice little thing. Now the next thing we're going to get into, I'm going to take all this and delete it. We don't need it. The next thing we can do is if I create a circle, okay, and I duplicate this, Control D, and I lift it up, Control D, lift it up, Control D, lift it up, or you know, make kind of like a pattern that you want, going from A to B and everything in between. Okay, so your path will go this way or this way, it doesn't matter, as long as you do have a path. I can put this one, I can scale it a bit, this one I can scale it a little bit bigger, and over here I can duplicate that, push it down a little, make this one a slightly bit bigger. So I've got kind of like a path that I've got here. So now I've got to select them in sequence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I held shift to select them all. Now I can go to surfaces and loft, boom. Okay, and that's what it creates for me. Okay, so once again I'm just going to reverse the direction, and I get something like that now, which is pretty cool. Now, another little thing of this little layers, I can select my mesh, my nurbs mesh. I can create a layer for it, call this, what does that look like? Cocoon. Okay, I can't spell thing. Okay, brilliant, don't do that. But, and I can push this on so it's just a reference. Okay, clicking these buttons, that's normal. I can select it. This gives you a wireframe of it, and this gives you a reference. So I can't select it anymore, but I can select these pretty damn easily now. And once I've got that, you can go in and you can start changing things around, just like everything else. So you can create some incredible shapes and things with this. I mean, nurbs, you can do cool things. It allows you to model a lot quicker and things, and you know, you can get nice basic shapes as well. Convert into polygons, take it into ZBrush, or continue modeling in Maya. So it is pretty cool. So you can make cool custom shapes as well. We can delete that, and we can just delete a couple of these, don't want them, and we can start doing things like, you know, you can go a little wild and mental and create, you know, things that you want to see, shapes that you want to see. I mean, people create the basis of faces and heads with this kind of technique. And then once again, you can just select them in order, and you can hit surfaces and loft, and you'll get, once again, let's just reverse that, and you can get cool shapes and things. Okay, now let's get onto planar, which is the one I kind of wanted to show you. So if I create another nurbs circle, I can fill this up with the mesh. So stupid me, let's just go back to this. Okay, I'm just undoing a bit of things. Now if I create a nurbs circle, I'll bring it out over here. And if I've got that NURB circle selected and I say surfaces and planar, it creates a surface for me. Boom. Okay, so it fills it up for me. That's cool. And I can convert that into polygons. Same with here. Once I've lofted my creation, I can put this back on reference. Can't select it, but I can select this little guy. I can select it. Interesting. Okay, let's put it in here. Add selected. Now I can't select it. Now I can select this little guy here, and I can say surfaces and planar. Right, and then I can just reverse that. Okay, so you can put caps on things. Now, when does this not work? is if it needs to all be flattened as soon as I start moving these things up or down. That's not correct. I don't have the mesh selected there. If I select this mesh and just add this to this, then I can just select my curve. And if my curve isn't dead flat, it breaks it. Okay, it breaks your planar. It breaks your mesh. Boom. See that? So make sure these things are dead flat, and you'll get your shape back. Okay, so that's just a nice little trick if you're not understanding why your curves are not working with planar, then that's the reason. Okay, you can't move these up or down. They have to be absolutely dead flat for it to work. Okay, so I hope you learned a bit in this tutorial. If you have any questions, give me a shout. If there's something I could do differently, if I'm going too fast or too slow, or I'm not explaining things well enough, just give me a shout and let me know. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.